I want to introduce you to the most recent attorney to come into my feed and that I'm now following because, oh my God. What a breath of fresh air. One, two, I trust her. I trust her. Just you wait. Let me show you.
Blake Lively 100% lied to her attorneys before they agreed to take her case. Hey guys, my name's Theresa. I'm not your lawyer, but I am a lawyer and I collect facts like snacks. And I have been looking in to the Blake Lively Ryan Reynolds case just recently. I've been paying attention. And I just saw that Blake is being represented by this law firm called Wilkie Farr. Wilkie is a very, very good law firm. It's one of the 100 firms that are like the top 100 firms that is referred to as big law. Okay. So I used to work in big law, and I know that partners in big law charge probably between $1,000 to $2,000 an hour. So what likely is happening at Wilkie Farr is that given the discovery and the document review in this case, they probably have anywhere from 5 to 10 associates of different levels going through all of the documents, all of the emails, putting them together, doing legal research, and then kicking it up to the partners, right? So all told, they have like a legal team that's probably billing about 20 grand a day, okay? Because now that they're at the end of discovery, they did all the depositions, they did all the depositions, they got all the documents, they got all the emails, they got all the text messages, they put it all together, and then they did these motions to the court. And basically what both sides are trying to argue is that we win just based on everything that you see, Your Honor, and that there is absolutely no way a jury will be able to find for the other person. So Justin's motion is I win, and there's no way that a jury would be able to rule for Blake. And Blake's is I win, and there's no way a jury would be able to vote for Justin. When you have this kind of he said, she said case, that's really just based on a lot of subjective interpretation of behavior, there's no way either of those motions are going to win. And you're asking the judge to make a credibility determination most of those times when so much of your evidence is based on testimony and what other people say. That's a credibility thing. And credibility is always for the jury. So these motions are performative. But here's why I say Blake lied. Wilkie Farr, I mean, they're not the best litigation powerhouse in big law. That was Paul Weiss before they capitulated to Trump, but I digress. But Wilkie, like, big law reputations are really important, and I just can't imagine that they knew in advance that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were this unhinged. That's when you have that initial meeting with your client. Like, is there anything that I need to know that could really, like, impact negatively this case? And they were probably, like, so delusional in thinking that they're these two geniuses who've been doing everything correct that they just lied to their lawyers and said no. I could see that shit happening. So from their lawyer's standpoint, their lawyers probably went all in there like, hey, we're representing the good guy. And then fucking discovery starts and all this other shit starts pouring in. Those associates must have had a fucking field day. Do you hear me? A field day. I would have been thrilled if I was an associate at a law school, maybe 2 to 3 years, and now you're fucking seeing emails between like Blake Lively and Ben Affleck, and then that email is cut and pasted to fucking Matt Damon and his wife. And then, oh my God, I could go on and I mean, I'm going to have to do multiple videos about this. But the moral of this particular video is that their lawyers are so prestigious and so well respected that these communications that have been discovered they must have been a fucking embarrassment to this law firm. And I cannot imagine that this law firm at some point did not sit down with them and be like, listen, this case is not as strong as what you thought it was and what you portrayed it to be. And it just seems like Blake and Ryan are these kind of like know-it-all clients that are like, I don't give a fuck what you, attorney who has experience, says. We're pushing forward. And once you've been a lawyer for a person for that long, like, you can't back out of the case ethically. So that's my bet. My bet is that Wilkie Farr did not know how bad this shit was going to be. But now they're stuck with this case and with these insane clients.
So isn't that like the most refreshing, like, best, most recent update? And I already instantly followed her, and I'm so stoked to hear the rest of what she has to say. But just, I mean, because first I was thinking maybe it's all Blake. It's all Blake and Ryan that are like, redact, 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 attorney's eyes only kind of a thing. But now that she says that, I'm kind of like, what if it's also the legal team that's like, guys, we can't we can't let them know that this is what we're working with. So maybe the redactions are even like the legal team, like, shh, don't let them know that this is what we're dealing with. Because it's kind of like the criminal case that I've been talking about periodically throughout this, where the attorney, he got to a certain point in the case, and like she said, once you've been serving the client long enough, ethically, you can't remove yourself. You can't vacate your position and expect another attorney to come in, because there's been so much work put in, and it would be a hindrance to the client, which is why ethically it shouldn't be done, and most of the time can't be done. And so this lawyer had been on this case, this criminal case, for long enough that he couldn't do that. But, even as things were unfolding in the hearing, it was kind of obvious that the case was crumbling beneath his feet. And I could read the writing on the wall, and I was just like, dude, I think this guy doesn't want anything to do with this. He doesn't want this hit on his record, meaning he didn't want this loss on his record. And so he was just doing whatever he could to like get out from underneath the case without it impacting his overall record as an attorney, etc. And so was just looking for any little loose corner that he could start ripping up and get out of the case. And so maybe all of these redactions and whatever are because this legal team knows how embarrassing this discovery is, one, and two, in that regard, maybe all of the redactions at least like slows down how quickly this gets out into the greater public world. And maybe in that way, it bought them time. It bought them time to navigate some other direction or something else that they're going to pursue. Or maybe they were thinking that a settlement would happen in the meantime, and that unsealing would never happen. Who knows? But anyways, I just wanted to put your eyes on another attorney that's talking about this case, and are you as excited as I am to see more content come from her?